is Veena from Cake, the channel that's about baking and much more. Here's where you'll find quick and tasty recipes for new cooks and those with less time to spend in the kitchen. And if you're looking for authentic ingredient proportions and all the essential instructions for each recipe, you've come to the right place. Okay then, let's get cracking with today's recipe. Welcome back. Today I'll be showing you how to make one of my favorite snacks, Paneer Patties. They're simply delicious on their own, but make sandwiches or burgers with them and you could have a hugely satisfying treat to munch into. So let's see how easily we can make these right here at Cake. Let's check the ingredients for today's recipe and the bonus recipe at the end. For the patties, we'll need crumbled paneer, potatoes, onions, green chilies, ginger, coriander, garam masala, cumin powder, some stale bread or corn flour, lime juice, sugar and salt to taste, and also some semolina or rice flour. For making the paneer, we'll need milk and lime juice. And for the bonus recipe, we'll need burger buns, onion and tomato slices, shredded cabbage, butter, mayonnaise, and hot pasta or red chili sauce. For our key ingredient paneer, you could use either homemade paneer or the ready-made store-bought kind, available in several brands. As you'll see shortly, the process of making paneer is amazingly simple. However, if you're using ready-made paneer, which should always be stored in the freezer compartment of your fridge, you'll have to first thaw it and then refresh it by keeping it in very hot water for around 20 minutes. But for those of you who want to know how paneer can be prepared at home, here's a quick tutorial. In this cup, I have the juice of 1 large sour lime and here's half a cup of water. I'll mix the two and this will be the acidic agent I'll be using to split milk and make paneer. You could also use diluted vinegar instead. I'm using 1.5 liters of low-fat milk to make the paneer for our patties, but you could also use full cream milk if you want. I'm going to bring this to a rolling boil. In the meanwhile, let's take a brief but interesting journey back into history. Around 500 years ago, it was the Portuguese who introduced us Indians to fruits like chicus, pineapples and guavas, and also, believe it or not, tomatoes, chilies and potatoes, vegetables we just can't do without today. But in addition, they also brought to the shores of India the remarkable technique of splitting milk to make paneer. What happened next is equally interesting. The Bengalis quickly adopted this technique to launch an array of delicious paneer-based sweets, which then became popular across the country. They called the newly introduced cottage cheese chena, whereas in northern India, it was given the Persian name for cheese, paneer. Now that the milk is about to start boiling, I'll start adding the diluted lime juice a few tablespoons at a time and keep stirring the milk as it curdles. I'll gradually add more lime juice till the milk splits completely and we have a whey that's clear and straw-colored. It's now time to strain the split milk and separate the paneer from the whey using a sieve and a thin clean napkin or muslin cloth. Once all the paneer has been separated, we'll draw the ends of the napkin together tightly and squeeze the paneer a little to extract some more of the whey from it. Now at this stage, you would need to rinse the paneer with fresh water a few times to rid it of the sour taste of lime juice. But since we'll be using lime juice later on while making the patties, we can skip this step. I've squeezed as much whey from the paneer as I could. I'll now press it to flatten it somewhat and then place something heavy on it to press down on it some more. I've added around 1 liter of water to the same vessel in which I had boiled the milk and I'm using this as a weight. You could place a plate on the flattened paneer and then use some heavy books as a weight instead. We'll keep the paneer weighted down under this vessel for an hour or so. It's now been an hour, and so it's time to check out our slab of fresh paneer. This could weigh around 330 grams. I've not bothered to flatten it evenly because we don't need to cut it into uniformly sized cubes, but we'll be crumbling it instead to make our patties. Nevertheless, let's see how you could cut this slab into cubes for different dishes, like palak paneer for instance. Okay, now let's crumble all of the paneer. Being freshly made, it can be easily crumbled by hand. Now something important about the whey we've got after splitting the milk. It's very nutritious and can be used for cooking dals, vegetable dishes, soups, and also plain rice and rice dishes. It can also be added to the soil for growing plants like tomatoes that need acidic soil. Here's a handful of fresh coriander, 1 cup of finely chopped onions, 1.5 tablespoons of grated ginger, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, 3 green chilies, and 1 sour lime. Let's start by chopping the coriander and the chilies. By the way, you could also add grated carrots to this recipe. Here are 2.5 slices of stale bread I had in the fridge and which I've toasted lightly. I'll soak these in a little water. For our patties, we'll also need 2 medium-sized boiled and peeled potatoes. I'll mash them with a fork, but you could also use a potato masher or else grate them. I'll now squeeze out the water from our soaked bread slices. This bread, like the potatoes, will help hold the other ingredients together. Let's saute the chopped green chilies on medium heat in 2 tablespoons of oil. Now I'll throw in our chopped onions and saute these for a couple of minutes till they become nice and soft. Now let's add the grated ginger and the garam masala. I'll turn down the heat to low and give this a stir, and then add in the mashed potatoes and the bread. Let's add the crumbled paneer and mix all the ingredients well, still keeping the heat on low. Now let's throw in the chopped coriander and 1 teaspoon of sugar. I'll add around 3/4 teaspoons of salt and the juice of 1/2 of the sour lime. We'll add more later if necessary. I tasted the mix and saw it doesn't need any extra salt or lime juice, but I realized I'd forgotten to add cumin powder to it. So I'll now add 1/2 teaspoon of it to the rest of the mix and then turn off the heat. Our patty mix has cooled down, and so we can now start making the patties. You could use either semolina or rice flour to coat them, but we'll use both so that you can note the difference in the outer texture of the patties. You could shape them by hand or use a cookie cutter like this one. I'll be making medium-sized patties and a couple of larger burger-sized ones. Let's roll this first patty in semolina. The second one we'll roll in rice flour. Now let's make a larger burger-sized patty. Finally, let's make some using our cookie cutter. So here are our paneer patties, 10 medium-sized ones and 2 larger ones. It's now time to fry them. I've added a little oil to the pan and kept the heat on medium. So now let's fry our first batch of patties. We'll need to heat them for around 2 to 2.5 minutes on each side so they can get nicely browned. I've now finished frying all the patties. They smell so good. And the taste, I assure you, you'll be smacking your lips for more. Enjoy these with ketchup or green chutney or any sauce of your choice. But for now, let's make some delicious paneer burgers. I've buttered 2 burger buns, which I'll toast lightly on each side on this non-stick pan. And oh, those of you who want to learn how to bake burger buns at home, please check the link to my easy to follow video included in the description box below. Let's flip the bun slices and toast their other side as well. Now let's lightly caramelize a few onion rings. For burgers, I prefer the taste of caramelized onions to that of raw onion slices. We have some simple ingredients lined up here, but believe me, the burgers are going to be delicious. I'll begin by applying a generous layer of mayonnaise to the lower half of each burger bun. Now let's spread a little shredded cabbage on each and pat this down lightly. Let's place a patty on each of these two slices. I'll apply some hot pasta sauce to the upper half of each burger bun and then layer each patty with some tomato slices and some onion rings. Finally, let's pat some shredded cabbage onto each of the other two bun slices and then press them down to top each of our burgers. And here they are, two super delicious paneer burgers ready to chomp into. So what do you think? Hope watching this video will make you eager to try out today's recipes. And once you've seen for yourself how yummy these paneer patties are, I hope you'll happily share the link with your family and friends. Hope you enjoyed today's video and do stop by again for yet another quick and tasty recipe. Till then, take care, happy cooking!